For weeks, locals had seen a stray dog constantly wandering near the busy highway, as if waiting for something or someone. Concerned drivers often stopped, attempting to coax the dog away from the dangerous roads, but it wouldn't move. Finally, one man named Nick realized what was actually going on, and he immediately called animal control. There was more to the dog's story than was obvious, and they needed to get here as soon as possible. What they discovered about the dog's steadfast watch on the highway left everyone who heard the story heartbroken and amazed by its loyalty. Nick was in complete disbelief as he stared at the scene in front of him. He had followed the dog into the forest next to the highway, but he had never expected to find this. This poor dog. He called for help immediately, and he hoped that animal control would arrive in time. It was a race against the clock. When the animal control officers finally arrived, they were just as shocked to see what was going on as Nick had been. They thanked Nick for alerting them, but they were going to take over from here. Nick could do nothing else except wait for them to call him back. Nick couldn't believe that this was the reason the dog had been stuck there for so long. It was so much worse than he had ever imagined. He could only hope that he had called for help in time. But what did Nick find? And why did he call animal control? Why did the dog refuse to leave the highway? And was it going to be okay? Nick was driving to work and he was in a bit of a hurry. He had overslept that morning and he was going to be late. He had put on the first shirt that he saw, brushed his teeth and jumped into the car, even skipping his morning coffee. He was only able to relax when he almost arrived at work and realized that he would probably be only 10 minutes late. Or, well, that's what he thought. "Shit!" he yelled as his car swerved on the highway. A dog had suddenly appeared out of nowhere and Nick had almost hit it. As he steadied his car, he looked in the rearview mirror, but he couldn't see the dog anywhere. Nick pulled over on the side of the road immediately, worried that the dog might have gotten hurt. He sat in the car and shook his head, angry at himself. How could he have forgotten about that dog? It had been there for weeks now, and he had slowed down as he drove past it nearly every day on his way to work. He had even heard his neighbors talking about it, and many others in their town had noticed this dog as well. They all wondered what it was doing there. The area had a lot of stray dogs, but they normally roamed in packs. This one dog had been around for weeks, all by itself and in the middle of nowhere. A lot of people tried to get the dog to come with them to a safer place, away from the traffic, but for some reason, no one could do it. It seemed like the dog really wanted to stay here, but lots of people were wondering why. When the dog still didn't appear in Nick's mirror, he sighed and opened the door of his car. He carefully climbed over the guardrail. The highway wasn't busy right now, but he could never be too careful, he thought. As he made his way to the point where he had seen the dog, he replayed the last few minutes in his head. He couldn't have hit it, could he? He didn't feel or hear anything strange, at least not that he could remember. He surely would have noticed if he had hit that dog, right? On the other hand, he had been caught completely off guard and he'd been focusing on steadying his car, so even if he had hit it, he might have completely missed that. Nick shook his head as if he were shaking off those horrible thoughts and continued walking. A few moments later, he stood still and looked around the area. He was pretty sure that this was where he had seen the dog, and he'd swerved so hard that he had lost control of the wheel. However, the dog was nowhere to be seen. It was almost an immediate relief to Nick that the dog wasn't lying anywhere in the bushes, and he thought to himself, if it were hurt, it couldn't have made it far from here. For several minutes, he wandered around the area, making coaxing sounds and attempting to lure the dog towards him. Sadly, it remained silent, and he saw no movement at all. Nick, feeling conflicted about leaving, walked towards his car, reflecting on the situation. Despite his efforts, the silence of the woods felt heavier, making the morning chill seep deeper into his bones. Just as he reached his car, a distant bark echoed, halting his steps. He turned, scanning the trees, his heart caught between hope and resignation. Hearing a bark, Nick paused, his eyes searching the area once again for signs of the dog he nearly hit. The sound was faint, almost carried away by the breeze, but it was enough to reignite his concern. He stepped back over the guardrail, eyes darting from shadow to shadow, trying to pinpoint where the cry had come from. Confusion set in as the dog remained unseen, making Nick question if he'd imagined the sound. He called out softly, hoping for any response. The forest remained silent, save for the occasional rustle of leaves. Nick's confusion grew with each passing second, the situation slipping further from his grasp. Suddenly, the dog appeared, sprinting towards Nick with an unexpected energy. Its fur was matted, and it carried the weight of untold stories in its eyes. Nick stood frozen, caught off guard by the sudden appearance. The dog's energy was infectious, yet there was a desperation in its pace that Nick couldn't ignore. Nick froze, anticipating the dog's next move, fear of an attack looming over him. The dog, however, skidded to a halt a few feet away, panting heavily. Its stance was tense, eyes locked on Nick's, as if measuring his intent. The standoff between man and beast lasted a heartbeat longer before the dog's demeanor shifted, signaling the beginning of an unexpected turn in their encounter. He cautiously backed towards his car, his gaze never leaving the dog as it approached him with unexpected calm. The morning's tension seemed to dissolve as the dog's tail wagged, an unspoken signal of peace. Nick was taken aback by this gesture, his mind racing with questions about this sudden change in demeanor from an animal once filled with desperation. Relief flooded Nick as the dog stopped right in front of him, its tail wagging, no signs of aggression present. This moment of unexpected friendliness left Nick in awe, challenging his preconceived notions about stray dogs. The warmth in the dog's eyes suggested a familiarity that was both puzzling and heartwarming, bridging the gap between man and beast on this unusual morning. Nick was surprised by the dog's shift to friendliness, dispelling any lingering fears. The stray, now behaving as if it had found a long-lost friend, brought a smile to Nick's face. This instant camaraderie felt like a scene out of a story, where two strangers form an unlikely connection against all odds, right there on the side of a busy highway. Realizing he hadn't hit the dog as it pranced around him with ease, Nick let out a sigh of relief. This chance meeting had morphed from a potential tragedy into an unexpected bond. The dog's lively movements and vibrant energy seemed to defy its rough appearance, making Nick wonder about the stories it could tell if only it could speak. Nick, accepting the dog's peaceful intentions, made the decision to head to work, now significantly late. He glanced back at the dog, its figure a solitary silhouette against the highway. As he drove away, Nick couldn't shake the feeling that this encounter was merely the beginning of something more. A tale yet to unfold between a man and a dog united by circumstance. Nick opened the door and slid into his car, yet the dog's barking halted him. He looked back, seeing the dog's earnest eyes pleading through the noise. This silent communication made Nick rethink his rush, sensing an unspoken request for help from the dog. It was a moment of connection, urging him to act beyond his initial intention. The dog's persistent barking and following caught Nick by surprise, planting the seed of concern in his mind. Observing the dog's determined actions, Nick sensed a deeper need. This wasn't just a stray seeking attention. It seemed to be seeking help. Compelled by this realization, Nick felt an unexpected responsibility towards the animal. Nick fetched water from his car, presenting the thirsty dog with a makeshift bowl. Pouring the water carefully, he watched as the dog eagerly drank, its thirst a clear sign of neglect. This small act of kindness felt monumental, bridging a gap between them, and Nick felt a growing commitment to the well-being of his newfound companion. The dog's insatiable thirst was a stark reminder of its neglect. Nick refilled the makeshift bowl several times, witnessing the dog's profound relief and growing trust. Each gulp seemed to cement their unexpected bond, a silent agreement of care and attention forged on the side of a road. Despite his desire to stay, Nick, burdened by guilt, resolved to return after work. He reassured the dog with a gentle pat, promising silently to come back. As he drove off, Nick's thoughts lingered on the dog, its well-being now a personal concern. This wasn't a goodbye, but a commitment to return, a promise made from the heart. Throughout his workday, Nick found his concentration frequently slipping, his mind wandering back to the stray dog. He envisioned the trip to the store for dog food and snacks, excited about the prospect of helping. This unexpected concern for the stray injected a sense of purpose into his routine, making the hours until the end of the workday crawl by with anticipation. As soon as work was over, Nick made a beeline for the pet store. He carefully selected high-quality dog food and a variety of treats, hoping to bring a bit of joy into the dog's hard life. The action felt deeply rewarding, almost as if Nick was stepping into a new role he hadn't known he was meant for. He left the store with a sense of accomplishment, eager to return to the dog. On the drive back, a mix of hope and slight anxiety filled Nick's thoughts. Would the stray still be there, waiting for him, or had it moved on? This concern for the dog's safety and well-being surprised Nick, marking a significant change in how deeply he now felt connected to the animal. He clung to the hope that his efforts would not be in vain, that a meaningful bond could be fostered. Arriving back at the spot, Nick was greeted by the heartwarming sight of the dog still waiting. The loyal animal stood vigilant, its figure cast against the fading light of the day. This patience and fidelity struck a chord in Nick, reinforcing his resolve to care for the stray. It was a moment of silent understanding, a mutual commitment to the bond they were beginning to forge. Approaching the dog, Nick was met with enthusiastic tail wagging and joyful leaps. This display of affection and trust was the dog's way of showing gratitude, solidifying the bond that had begun to form between them. Nick's heart swelled with happiness, knowing he had made the right decision. This was just the start of their journey, a tale of friendship and care destined to grow stronger with each passing day. Nick's gentle approach towards the stray allowed for a tender moment of connection as he petted the grateful animal. The dog, initially wary, soon responded with trust, leaning into Nick's touch. This simple act of kindness bridged worlds, fostering a bond marked by mutual respect and understanding, illuminating the unexpected warmth and companionship found on the side of a road. Offering the dog food, Nick observed with satisfaction as it ate with eagerness and joy. This shared meal became more than just feeding. It was a ritual that bonded them. Every bite seemed to not only satisfy the dog's hunger, but also weave a stronger connection between them, turning a moment of necessity into one of shared happiness and mutual care. The dog's lick on Nick's hand, a gesture of silent thanks, deeply moved him, solidifying the bond they shared. This simple act of gratitude spoke volumes, transcending the barriers between human and animal. It was a poignant moment of connection, filled with unspoken promises of loyalty and care, highlighting the deep emotional capacity and understanding that exists within the silent language of companionship. Nick was ready to leave, but the dog's persistent barking signaled something more, halting his departure. The sound wasn't just a call for attention, it was a plea for action, an unspoken request that Nick couldn't ignore. Intrigued by the urgency in the dog's voice, Nick felt an unexplained pull to stay, to delve deeper into the mystery that this four-legged friend was desperate to share. Realizing the dog's intent to lead him somewhere, Nick felt a surge of curiosity and decided to follow. The dog moved with purpose, guiding Nick into the unknown. As they embarked on this new journey, a sense of adventure enveloped them, their paths intertwining in a quest guided by trust and a silent understanding. It was the start of an unexpected chapter in their growing friendship, promising new discoveries and shared experiences. Following the dog, Nick observed how its barking softened with each step he took towards it, a silent encouragement for him to persist in this unexpected venture. This gradual change, subtle yet profound, deepened the mysterious bond that seemed to tether them together, urging Nick forward into the unfamiliar, guided by an instinctive trust in his new companion. After locking his car, Nick found himself embarking on an unforeseen journey, with the dog confidently leading the way. The anticipation of what lay ahead transformed an ordinary day into an exhilarating adventure. As they moved, the dog became more than a guide. It became a companion on a path filled with the unknown, sparking a sense of excitement and curiosity in Nick. The dog's determined pace, interspersed with occasional looks back at Nick, conveyed a sense of urgency and an unbreakable trust. These silent moments of communication reassured Nick, further cementing the bond that had quickly formed between them. Despite the absence of words, the dog's actions were loud and clear, instilling in Nick a confidence to follow where it led, even into the unknown. As they crossed the dense forest's threshold, Nick followed, driven by a powerful mix of curiosity and trust. This transition into the wild unknown symbolized a deeper plunge into their shared journey, transforming the landscape into a realm of new possibilities. With each step further into the thick foliage, Nick's trust in the dog's innate guidance grew stronger, committing him to follow through the natural world's hidden paths. The dog's clear sense of direction and unwavering determination showcased it as not just a guide, but a guardian of their shared path. Its confident navigation through the forest's complexities seemed to effortlessly clear a way for Nick, who was drawn into this journey by a mix of fate and choice. This adventure, sparked by a chance encounter, had blossomed into a quest of trust and discovery, bound by the silent language of companionship. Nick's initial apprehension gradually faded, replaced by a growing intrigue about their mysterious destination. The forest around them seemed alive with sounds and movements, adding layers of mystery and anticipation to their journey. This shift from unease to curiosity marked the first steps of a deeper adventure, with each footstep taking them further into the unknown, guided by the trust they had in each other. The dog periodically glanced back at Nick, ensuring his presence, a silent pact affirming their connection. These quiet check-ins between the two were more than just reassurances. They were mutual acknowledgements of their shared journey. With every look, the bond between them deepened, transcending the simple act of following into a shared experience, marking their passage through the dense forest with moments of silent understanding. This journey through the forest deepened their bond, transforming Nick from a mere follower to an invested companion. The paths they navigated together, filled with the unknown and the untouched, forged a connection that was both unexpected and profound. With each step, the ties between man and dog grew stronger, their companionship cemented by the shared experience of venturing into the wild unknown together. As they ventured deeper into the forest, the dog's urgency grew, its pace quickening, accompanied by sporadic barking. This increase in pace was a clear sign that their destination held great importance. Nick, sensing the urgency, struggled to keep up, his efforts fueled by a mix of concern and curiosity. The forest seemed to respond to their hurried passage, the very air charged with anticipation of what lay ahead. Nick found himself struggling to keep up with the dog's brisk pace, sensing the critical nature of their destination. Each breath felt heavier as they moved faster, the forest blurring around them. The importance of their mission weighed on Nick, pushing him to his limits as he followed the determined dog, their journey becoming a race against time through the shadowed green, each step echoing with the urgency of their unspoken goal. Reaching a well, the dog's behaviour suddenly escalated to frantic barking and whining, a stark contrast to its previous urgency. Nick watched, puzzled and concerned, as the dog circled the well, its actions more desperate than ever. This abrupt change signalled a new level of distress, urging Nick to understand the critical nature of their discovery. The dog's intense reaction was a clear call to action, leaving no room for doubt. Nick's concern peaked, realising the dog's frantic behaviour was not just stress, but a plea for help. The intensity of the situation became apparent, pushing Nick to reassess everything he thought he knew about the dog. This moment of realisation brought a new depth to their relationship, transforming his perception of the animal from a mere stray to a creature of intelligence and desperation, clearly communicating its need for assistance. This moment of discovery at the well's edge highlighted the dog's intelligence and desperation in a way Nick had never anticipated. Peering into the darkness, Nick felt a surge of admiration for the dog's persistence and smarts. The situation unfolded into a crisis that required immediate action, underlining the urgency of the dog's behaviour. It was a pivotal moment that showcased the depth of their bond and the trust that had developed between them. Peering into the well, Nick's initial shock quickly mirrored the dog's urgency. A call for help was needed immediately. The gravity of the situation was overwhelming, urging Nick into action. Without a second thought, he knew what he had to do. The connection they had forged was now leading him to take decisive steps to resolve the crisis, highlighting the responsibility he felt towards the dog and the situation at hand. Without hesitation, Nick called animal control, promising to stay by the dog's side until help arrived. His commitment to the dog's well-being was unwavering, showcasing a dedication that went beyond casual concern. This act of calling for help was a testament to their bond and Nick's newfound role as the dog's protector. Together, they waited, united by a silent agreement of trust and the hope for a resolution that was just on the horizon. The arriving officers shared Nick's astonishment, immediately praising his timely intervention. Their commendations reflected not just the urgency of the situation, but also recognized the depth of Nick's connection with the dog. This moment was more than just a rescue. It was a testament to Nick's quick thinking and compassion, traits that underscored the unexpected bond he had formed with the stray. This act of compassion and quick thinking not only showcased Nick's growing bond with the dog, but also highlighted his character. The officer's acknowledgement of Nick's actions added a layer of validation to the unique connection he had established with the dog. It was a moment that clearly defined the journey they had embarked on together, a journey rooted in care, understanding, and an unspoken commitment to help. The revelation at the well hinted at a deeper narrative, one centered around loyalty and care. Peering into the depths, Nick and the officers discovered the source of the dog's desperation. Puppies trapped, their survival uncertain. This moment of discovery shifted the rescue from a simple act to a poignant story of familial bonds, showcasing the dog's unwavering loyalty and the lengths to which it had gone to seek help. The well's secret was revealed. Puppies trapped, their tiny barks echoing up the stone walls, a desperate plea for help. Animal Control's swift action brought a glimmer of hope to the tense scene. Their expertise and quick assessment ensured that a plan for a safe rescue was immediately put into action, demonstrating the crucial role of timely intervention in saving lives. This moment was a turning point, filled with cautious optimism. With Animal Control at the helm, the rescue operation began, their professionalism and care shining through. Each move was calculated and precise, aimed at ensuring the safety of the puppies. Nick, standing by, watched in awe, his promise to the dog now coming to fruition. This collective effort to save the young animals underscored the importance of community, compassion, and the undeniable bond between humans and their canine companions. The mother dog's relief was palpable as she watched her puppies being rescued, her eyes conveying silent gratitude towards Nick and the Animal Control officers. Her demeanour softened, a stark contrast to the earlier desperation now replaced by a quiet thankfulness. This moment of silent exchange was a powerful reminder of the unspoken bond that can exist between humans and animals, a testament to the relief and hope now taking root. The puppies, weak but alive, were immediately taken to the vet, a critical first step in their journey towards recovery. Their fragile whimpers filled the air, a poignant reminder of their ordeal and the urgency of their need for care. This swift action towards their welfare highlighted the importance of timely medical intervention, setting the stage for their recovery and a chance at a new beginning. Veterinary care played a crucial role in restoring the puppies to health, ensuring their recovery and a chance at life. The dedication of the vets and their team underscored the resilience of these young lives, each day bringing them closer to strength and vitality. This period of healing not only rejuvenated the puppies, but also strengthened the bond they shared with their mother, a testament to the care they received. The mother dog's resilience and determination throughout this ordeal became a tale of inspiration to all who heard it. Her unwavering loyalty and the lengths she went to save her puppies spoke volumes about the depth of her maternal instincts. This story, now shared among the community, highlighted the powerful connection between mother and offspring, serving as a reminder of the incredible strength found in the animal kingdom. Nick's decision to adopt the mother dog and one of her puppies symbolized the formation of a new family, born from hardship but destined for happiness. This act of adoption was more than just a commitment to care. It was a promise of a fresh start, a life filled with love and companionship. Together, they would embark on a journey of healing and discovery, a testament to the power of second chances. Nick's adoption of the mother dog and her puppy represented a fresh start for them, a journey from hardship to happiness. This new chapter was not just about providing a home, but also about creating a bond that transcended their difficult beginnings. Together, they would explore the world anew, their lives enriched by the love and care they shared, a beacon of hope for the future. The community's involvement in adopting the other puppies showed a collective compassion that warmed hearts. Neighbours and friends came together, each opening their homes to these new members, thereby extending the circle of care. This widespread support not only ensured homes for all the puppies, but also reinforced the bond within the community, a shared commitment to kindness and support. The story of the dog's loyalty and Nick's intervention quickly became a local legend, a narrative of courage, compassion, and community spirit. It was a tale that resonated with many, illustrating the profound impact of kindness and the difference one individual can make. This legend, passed down through conversations and local media, served as a powerful reminder of the good that exists in the world, inspiring others to act with equal courage and compassion. This tale of unity, care, and love concluded with a profound sense of fulfillment and hope. The journey of the mother dog, her puppies, and the community that rallied around them painted a picture of a world where kindness prevails. It was a story that transcended the ordinary, uniting hearts and inspiring a collective desire to do good, embodying the true spirit of community and the unbreakable bonds of affection. The ending of this story emphasized the transformative impact of kindness, a force capable of changing lives and uniting hearts. It was a narrative that not only celebrated the rescue and recovery of the dogs, but also highlighted the ripple effect of a single act of compassion. This journey from despair to joy demonstrated the profound connections that can form when individuals come together in support of those in need, a testament to the power of community and love.